Hello, and welcome to my room tours. I've been working on this for a while. I believe the lighting issue is solved, and I'm also using a handheld phone mount to hold onto the phone so that I can turn like this and see things at a little bit better angle in some cases than if my body was also in the way by using the neck mount. So we have three rooms that we're going to look at mainly. One, two, and then that one over there, three. We're just going to go through and do them one at a time. I think what I'm probably going to do is I will film one, and then I'm going to come back into the hall and take a pause for myself, get something to drink, relax a little bit perhaps. I'm not sure how long they're going to take. But we're just going to start right in onto the first room. I've actually already turned the lights on in here. And so here we go. So this is the first room, and we have a little bit of a problem. The door doesn't open any further because I've got something behind the door. So let's take a look over here first. So we see we've got a bunch of these Spider-Man sets here. They don't really fit with where I have the rest of the Marvel and or Spider-Man stuff. This bag here is the Goodwill bag that has all the classic space stuff that I just recently got at Goodwill. And so that kind of is in the way a little bit. So we'll move that over here. And then this closet, I have a whole bunch of the Central Perk. I've got Friends Apartments down here. Queer Eye is up here and the one on the floor. I got a couple of the Seinfeld set right there. And then these boxes up top and then that plastic tote are all sets that I've parted out as like tests. And so they're all ready to go. They're, as you can see, they're all in Ziploc bags by piece inside there. This huge pile here, this Star Wars pile, is mostly sets that I only have one of. So probably stuff that's going to end up in my own personal collection. And then over there I've got a pile of classic sets there, including that one really slammed box, but it's still sealed. So yeah, and then right here up front you can see I have a copy of the Snowspeeder and Hoth 75009 Series 4 Planet set. Those sets were not available in North America. They were only available in Europe and other places. So that took a bit to get a hold of, and I'm looking to get the rest of them. I think I've got one of them, one of the other ones, and so I'm only missing one technically. So there is that. Then going over here, you can see on this shelf I've got a whole bunch of the Jurassic World sets. They start on the bottom over here, and so this is partially why I can use this camera to this effect, or the holder. I can actually get down here and show this a little bit better. And then we've got some up through here. This plastic bag on the top is also a Jurassic World set. It's just out of box. A couple other things are just randomly put here. Like I've got this one Christmas ornament stuck here. There's a couple of the Juniors one here. And then up on this top shelf, there's another set here on the left. But then all sorts of weird stuff like a Power Miners set and a Bionicle set, some games, just all sorts of stuff. The Duplo Toy Story train. I got Duplo Animals set there. I believe that's the counting train. I've got a Clickets set, believe it or not. This one, I honestly, oh yeah, this is the Ghostbusters Ecto 1. I got 4 of that right there. Coming down over this side, there's some more Jurassic World sets here. Below that, Stranger Things. Below that is the Nintendo NES, and then the Mario Cube, Frozen Ice Castles, and then Trolls. I've got a whole section of Trolls, which is pretty much the bottom 2 shelves down to here. Now this is going to be a recurring theme. You can't really see what's down there because this is in the way. So it's going to be a recurring theme where there's stuff stacked up in front of other things. So we got a bunch of the Troll sets there. This box is was in a previous video. This is the skateboard for the Brickster's Revenge 2, Lego Island 2 Brickster's Revenge video game. It was like a promotional skateboard. So I have that. I've got some of the Disney Princess stuff up through here. All sorts of different things. And it's just stacked right up to the ceiling right here in the corner because, well, I can do that. This is where the windows are now. In other bedrooms, you can't even see the windows, but in this one you can. I got some of the other Disney stuff through here. I've got one of the Incredibles sets, a Juniors one, the mini Disney castles, Disney trains, Disney castles along the bottom. There's 5 of those at least right there. Then we come over here and you see I've got some Wonder Woman packed up. Small selection of the Mickey Mouse type stuff, the individual sets, and then of course the Mickey and Minnie buildables right here. And then we go into, there's a single Pirates of the Caribbean set here. It's possible that I have more in another place. Some things are kind of scattered. Then I got some Batman sets, the Batwing and the 1989 Batmobile. And then below that I've got some of the Daily Bugle. And then over here we have some of the smaller, newer Marvel sets. The Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then the Bro Thor's New Asgard set. Both of the Simpsons sets here on the floor. And then behind it, there's a couple of boxes down there. It's pretty hard to see, but they are down there. And then there's more boxes up here. And all these boxes are copies of this set, which is the Clayface Splat Attack 70904. I've had that one for quite a while. Then up here I've got more different ones of the Batman movie going up here. You'll see, now these shelves were built in. They were here when I bought the house. They're not the best shelves, but they are here at the moment, so that's what I'm using. I don't recall. Those are, I believe, DC superhero minifigure sets. I think that's what's on the top. Some other Marvel stuff and like the Carnage bust. Some of these small figure packs here, which we just dropped one, which I'll have to pick up later. And then we go into all sorts of other Marvel and Avengers sets. There's a copy of the Goat Boat from the new Thor Love and Thunder movie that's not even out yet. And then we've got Eternal sets over here on the floor, which continue over here on the floor, next to some of the classic Batmobile. More Marvel sets through here. I'm going to move myself over here a little bit. There we go. Got the 6-pack for the Marvel figures here. Shang-Chi sets. More of the bust type stuff up there, along with some onesie sets. There's one of the Black Widow helicopter, that sort of thing. Over here, this is mostly DC, Batman and other related things. Although we've ended up having to encroach on it and push some stuff around, and so there's more Marvel over here on this side. Now, this is the wall contiguous with the door we came in through. And what this is 3 shelves of used sets in varying sets of, we have box, we don't have box, it's in a bag, has instructions in the bag. Like right ahead, there's an Ninjago set there. I had the instructions in the set in the bag, but there's no box. But then there's tons of boxes, as you can see, all sorts of different sets. There's a Welcome to Apocalypseburg built up there in that box, and then the Lego Movie 2 box right there is that box. But then this just goes all the way down. I mean, I see there's modular buildings over there. I've got Kingdoms and superheroes and Star Wars, and there's a Life on Mars set right there. A little hard to see with the glare from that light. Some of the other stuff, and there's a whole bunch of architecture sets through there, and then there's some old sets you can see right there on that shelf. So just all sorts of stuff, and it's continuing all over in this area here. It's just kind of like this morass of used sets that I just really can't get to at this point. I'm backing up now. Now this is there's some more used type sets right here just piled up. Then Brickheads pretty much is the rest of this shelf here that I recall. I honestly can't remember what's on the bottom shelf. Yeah, I see there's Brickheads down there. So there's Brickheads down there. This tote has some sets in it, but then I started stacking up these Infinity Saga sets on top. The Joker's Trike Chase right there, and there's a couple more of them around the corner behind me in a different spot. And then dots are over here, kind of piled high. Got bags of the poly bags and other containers holding that sort of stuff. The little containers, those are actual boxes that had the dots in them that were basically, when I would buy them out, I would take the box and I would just like pack the box. And so I believe, I can't remember for sure if I packed more into the boxes than normally fit or if I stayed to what was normally there. I just don't recall. There's the Technic Batmobile right there. Modular building that's built down there along with some other stuff that's built. Backing up over here, we've got some of the Legoland stuff that was supposedly exclusive, but then Target started selling them as well. There's Unikitty stuff here on the bottom shelf. Some other random kind of stuff like the Lovebirds and things of that nature. And then going up to the next shelf up, we have Nexonite stuff. Pretty much just the one shelf. There's a little bit on this shelf down here. Down here is the Bean There, Donut That. That was a Target exclusive. You can see there on the top of the box it is only at and then the Target symbol. And then at the very top of this unit, going all the way up to the ceiling, which is part of the reason why we have lighting issues, is these are advent calendars. And they're not all just this most recent year. I've got some from the year before as well. Then more advent calendars on the very top over here. But then we go into the Monkey Kid stuff. Coming down here, all the way down, including the floor level. We come back around this way. And, you know, we got some more Monkey Kid here on the front. Those 3 boxes down at the base are also a Monkey Kid set that I'm just like, I'll leave it in the nice box. More dots, as you can see. And then here's another angle on that morass of used sets. There's an Avengers Helicarrier there. I mean, you know, there's a Fusion set. Now, some of the stuff is new. Like, I've got the Santa Claus reindeer set there. There's 3 of them. Those are new. So there's a few new sets, just kind of where I had room to stick them. There's the Chima Shield, Salt and Pepper Shaker set. And then just, you know, more of this stuff. There's a Monster Fighter set there you can see. There's an old LL928, I believe, that's partially there. There's some Harry Potter sets and other sets and bags back here and up close. And like, this is one that I picked up not too terribly long ago. Well, probably 6 months ago or more. It's one of the promos for the little micro builds for Tatooine. So yeah, this stuff is just... This area specifically is going to be a problem to get through because it's going to require a lot more work in some ways than the rest of this stuff. You can see right there, there's the Eiffel Tower that I picked up. And that is pretty much everything in this room. I don't think, I mean, obviously there's stuff hiding underneath other things. You can see down here, there's another tote down there with stuff and more bags with sets and different things like that I found at various places. I mean, way back in the corner underneath that white plastic bag, there is a UCS Falcon box. I believe it was incomplete. I bought that off of Goodwill. So I paid much less than a new copy, but it's not complete. But yeah, and then like here, I've just grabbed a tote to put in some more of the dots packs and to hold them in place. Anyway, we are going to, oh, and then of course we've got a stack of the wreath right here. We're now going to go back out into the hall. And we're going to pause, and then we're going to start room 2 shortly. All right, we are back to record room 2, which is over here. All right, so as we first come in, this door just clears these shelves, and over here is all the city stuff. All sorts of little, like the figure packs at the bottom, these strangely shaped packs here where they had like the curved front. They did some of the Friends and the Disney like that too. And this goes right up to the ceiling. Just pack them high. And then over here on that side, more city stuff all the way down. But then the very bottom shelf, I do have some of the botanical stuff and some of the smaller plant sets there as well. All right. Over here you can see that we have the stadium, Santiago Bernabeu, which I believe, Bernabeu, I believe is how it was pronounced. Somebody told me about that. It's upside down because the opening where it's basically opened is right along this edge, and I just don't want to stress that edge any more than need be. Through that door there's a bathroom, and so we've got towels there for the shower and whatnot. So I've got some Technic sets here. There's some city space sets. The newest ones are right up there. And then this shelf over here is where I've got a lot of the larger vehicle sets. So like the London Bus and the VW Bug. And I got a couple of copies of the Mustang. There's one there and one up top. the Fiat, both in yellow and blue. Just all sorts of vehicle sets up through there. And then down below also there's more vehicle stuff, and then more stadiums. Lamborghini Scion, and I believe the other one is here. I forget which one it is. The Bugatti Chiron, that's there as well. Further down, you'll see we have a bunch of the Super Mario stuff. And then that leads way into the architecture. And architecture goes down pretty low over here. It's just blocked. There's a Singapore and a Statue of Liberty, and then more stadium sets here. You know, and we got architecture packed in behind them. And then over here, this is ideas. So we got the treehouse up top and the piano over there. You know, Women of NASA, just all sorts of, not quite all of the idea sets are here. I do have a few that are in different places, but I do own them all at this point. And then, like, so you've got the Voltron right here. Many of these I only have one of, especially the older ones, but some of them I have more of, like Pirates of Barracuda Bay. I have quite a number of those. It looks like 5 of those. You know, it looks like the 6 tree houses up there. The dinosaur one, there's a bunch of. And then we go into some of the art sets. So you've got Iron Man, Sith, Beatles, Harry Potter, Mickey, and then it just goes down on that shelf as well. And then it kind of went overboard. I have more art sets down through here, the Batman and the other one, the new one, the Elvis right there. More Star Wars, Harry Potter, more Iron Man down there. This is the generic one where they basically gave you some stuff where you can make your own. I've got a number of those and over here and over here. Medieval Blacksmith, there's another copy here. There's one up there, and then we've got some of the world map up there. And you can see this shelf here is leaning forward, and I'm not happy about that. It's basically because I put those big heavy sets at the top, and I have a feeling that some of these art sets are helping to keep that shelf from falling over. Also, you can see I've got some of these the reddish colored Chinese New Year sets. They're here, and then on those shelves back there. Looking here at the very top, we've got Minecraft in the middle here. That's on most of this top shelf, but not all of it. And then on all 6 of these, because there's 3 shelves here and there's 3 on the other side. On all 6 of them, I believe these bottom shelves are all hidden side. Now, lots and lots of hidden side. And you can see I've also got the dump truck here, or the pickup truck here. Some of the Harley Davidson motorcycle here. Over here I have a few more of the botanicals, just running out of space in different places, so you kind of have to do what I can. This end unit, and actually I take the back, there's not 6, there's 5 units, so those 4 units, the bottom of them is the hidden side, and then this one on the end is all the Creator 3-in-1. So from the really small sets to some of the larger ones, and a few of them are just Creator, they're not 3-in-1, like this little Vespa is not a 3-in-1, but it still goes here for the time being. We kind of skipped by this when we came in, but this one is kind of sticking out from the wall because it's too narrow of a section to put a shelf in there in the wide angle. And I see this shelf is also collapsing somewhat, so I have to get in here and do some work, but all this is destined to go to the basement anyway. Superhero Girls on the floor, not too much of it, but there's some. And then lots and lots of Speed Champions here. I also got another one of the pirate ship there. I believe there's more pirate ships over here. Yeah, there's 2 more in the middle there. And then the Creator Space Shuttle Adventure there, and some other ones on that shelf as well. Coming in here, again, as we talked about before, hidden side on the middle of these, or on the lower 3 shelves of these units, but also up top here. But then on top of that, video. There is video figures through here, quite a large stack of them, including a number of the Series 2 that I have not opened yet. I've got that full box there. It's the original Series 2 box. And then I believe a number of these in these may also be Series 2. I'm not sure they're all in here yet, but I think they are. There's also some video here on the floor in front of the hidden side. And then, of course, we've got the larger boxes for the video sets. And then more of the Creator 3-in-1 here. Going back to this back wall, I mean, you can see again some of the Chinese New Year sets, Sesame Street is in here, and then a bunch of Friends. And Friends takes up the next shelf over, and then this one in the corner, plus all the ones in front. And we'll include this one. This is the 4-in-1 gift set. I got a whole pile of those. I think there's 15 of those. And then on this wall over here, starting with one or both of those totes, I'm not sure, is all the Ninjago stuff. 2 copies of Ninjago City still in box. 2 copies of Docs. I also have some other, there's the crocodile train here. There's 4 crocodile trains up here. And there are 4 crocodile trains on the floor down here. This one has a pretty mushed box though. But most of the rest of this is Ninjago on the lower shelves. I got another Speed Champion set here stacked up on the floor. And then more Speed Champions up over here on top of this shelf. I think that is pretty much everything in here. I know those 3 boxes up top are a Friends set. I just don't recall which one. And then I think that's pretty much it. Let me just go back over here. Oh yeah, so I've got the 2-in-1 gift set for the city here, and there's probably, I think, 15 of those here as well. I forgot to mention that before. And that is the end for room 2. And so we're going to go back out into the hall, and we're going to take a rest. I'll take a drink or something like that, and we'll get on to the next room, which will be room number 3 over here. All right, here we are back in the hall, and we're going to head over to room 3 and open up the door and see what we have in here. All right. So starting off, we've got some VHS tapes with figures in them, in that box down there and piled on top. And then I've got some of the Visual Dictionary DC Superheroes books down there with figures as well. They kind of fit well behind the door. Coliseums are here. There's 3 of those. And then a lot of these containers, these bags and these boxes, there's a bag here and over here for it. Well, not that bag, but a lot of this stuff on the left, or the right rather, is all minifigures and small polybag type sets. The closet here is what I refer to as the promo closet. Most of what's in here was promo, although like the Wonder Woman set and the Bespin Duel and the Black Widow set, that sort of thing, those weren't promos so much as just more limited release. So I've got, this is just kind of overflowing into other areas now. I've got promos down here in this bag. I've got promos in this box. I've got promos up over here. I've got the taxi, the classic taxi over here. Also on this shelf, you can see I've got a bunch of just the simple sets, like there's the calendar and then the Ludo game and the chess set. They're all down through here. And then you can see down here, I've got some bags with Marvel CMF sets in them. They're not sets per se, but each bag is a box because I bought a number of boxes. And so basically they were just put in bags for shipping. But then, you know, I've got a whole bunch of foil packs that came from Europe. Keychains are in here. Other kind of poly bags of just random nature and that sort of thing. And then up top, I also have a Maersk train and a castle. This is the Troll Warship. So those are up top. Also up top, you can see I've got some of the towels that were promotional items. And then there's some of the bags over there. And then at the far one is, those are the Adidas bags. So I'm pretty sure we're in a video before. And then of course below that is the sea of modular buildings. Most of these much newer than the older ones. I was very late to the game for the modular buildings, so I don't have multiples of as many as I would like. But I do have a number of them. Those are going through here. I'm going to try to hold the camera over here. There's also Taj Mahal. That's the newer release of it. Tower Bridge. There is the carousel over there. Down here, I've got a couple, 3 copies of the roller coaster. This one, I think both of these 2 are the roller coaster. That's the Tower Bridge as well. I guess maybe I have 2 of those. Yep. This is the Big Ben, and then this is Vestas Wind Turbine. I've got several of those as well. Then you'll see there's some Star Wars on the floor. We'll get to more of that later. Over here, there's 4 plastic units here, and they are Star Wars on the bottom shelves over on this side. The top has some Harry Potter, which is floating over from the other side. Toy Story 4. Over here I've got Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And then it goes into Scooby-Doo and the Minions. Of course, that doesn't make a lot of sense other than the fact that they're all licensed themes. And there's stuff that I had far less of than some of the other things like Star Wars and Harry Potter. Here you'll see I have keychains. The Star Wars, I believe these are the Beskar ones. This is just some motors that I had picked up and or sensors from Lego. Then there's some more Star Wars in here. And then we start going into Harry Potter over here. And the Harry Potter is this whole side. And again, it's part of the reason the lighting is a problem. There is a light in the middle up there. But this stuff is stacked up high enough that I can't really get use of it. There's stuff stacked up on the floor here as well. Goes all the way over on those shelves and then up top as well. On this side, we've got Lego Movie 2. And then at the very top, there's some of the Star Wars helmets and then like the probe droid there in the end. Inside this tote, there is minifigures, different things like that, polybaggish type things. More Lego Movie 2, pretty much going all the way to the wall here. There's a lot of it. There's like 3 full shelves of it. And then stacked in front, more Star Wars stuff, including the 3-in-1 adventure pack for the Star Wars. I believe I also have 15 of that. There's a couple of the Winter Village sets here. This cardboard box, that's a Star Destroyer, the UCS, the newer UCS Star Destroyer. And I believe there are 3 of them stacked up there in a pile with more Harry Potter on top of that. Overwatch is pretty much just these 2 shelves. There's Star Wars here, and then there's this Overwatch setup here, just kind of where I had a little bit of space. And then this is where I put the Lars Family Homestead kitchen set right there, that promo. So some of the promos have leaked out of the promo closet. But Star Wars continues down through here on all those shelves. And then over here, I've got the Hogwarts Icons Moments section, Collector's Edition. Then there's the new trash compactor there and a shuttle down there and all sorts of other Star Wars stuff. Star Wars is this entire wall, goes to the wall, and it's also up top. You can see that I've got 5 of the Mos Eisley Cantina, 2 of the Sandcrawler. There is a number of the Tantive 4 in there. And then all sorts of other sets, and even including 2 copies sealed of this one, the Resistance Bomber, which I don't believe has the rare figure in them. So that's unfortunate. On this cardboard box is the newer Millennium Falcon UCS, and I believe there's 5 of those. I've lost track, and the pile is piled up on with other things, so it's hard to tell for sure. And then over here, as we did talk about it, we got the Toy Story 4. More of the Harry Potter stuff on the top as I was putting all of that up there. And then more Star Wars down below. You can see I've got, a whole bunch of these Sith Trooper battle packs. And then below that, there's other battle packs, including some even really old sets. The Escape Pod there probably dates back to 99 or 2000 would be my guess. And then I think that might be most everything in this room. We're going to exit. And we're going to look at the possibility of some additional footage going forward. But yeah, that is what we got going on so far. All right, speaking of some bonus content, this is the entry area, or the main front door of the house, which I don't use because it's like not convenient. But that's the way it is. And we've got Lego stored over here. So right here you can see there's a lot of the base set 11717. That's just the bricks and plates, I believe. So I believe there's like 70 or 75 of those piled up. I've got boxes of loose Lego here that need to be opened, as well as over here. I've got another shelving unit in here for a lot of stuff that got bought at one point. So there's even some modular buildings in here. Another map, and then there's one down here that's the damaged one that I did a video on. It came shipped just like this with horrible damage and whatnot, but it seemed to still be sealed. There's all sorts of sets down there: Ninjago, Batman, City, that kind of thing. Over here, I've got more of the classic stuff back there piled up. Different types of sets. I've got that Batman set up there. Ninjago City Gardens, I believe there's 7 of them there piled up. There are 4 of the Technic Liebherr 42100. And then more boxes of loose bulk of different types. There's actually one purchase in here that I plan to do a video on at some point, which is basically I bought out someone's Bricklink store, essentially. They had everything sorted by color, and I guess maybe they decided they didn't like that idea. Coming around the corner here, we've got a Pango, or is this a Kiko? I can't tell. That's Kiko. Hi, Kiko. Copy of Thor's Hammer up here. And this is a Dacta set that I picked up fairly recently, and then like just some bags inside of a Duplo bucket. And then I've got, I believe those are more of the what's below it. Yeah, the Ninjago Brickheads 3-pack. I believe those boxes are also those as well. So that's this little area, and we'll do some additional content. Okay, so this is the entry to the basement, but we're not going to the basement. We're just going to talk about this. This is my sorting area. I've got a couple of the sets over here piled up waiting to go for winners once we get 600, 800, and 1,000 subscribers. This is where I do a lot of sorting through here. But the interesting thing about the sorting station, I'm not sure if I mentioned previously, it was like it's made by these pieces of wood. There's 2 of them, kind of like shelf depth, and I just put them next to each other. But the supports for this, all these boxes, this is all bulk loose that I have never opened. It came like that, and I was just like, no, I'm just going to leave it. You can see I have another piece of wood in here, and I have basically created then a shelf underneath where I put base plates down there, and then a couple of the categories I sort to go down there as well. But there are, it looks like at least 6 or 7 of these large boxes, and then over there's some of the small ones, and some small ones here. There's these bags of loose that I opened up in a haul at one point. People are like, oh, we want to know what's in the bag. So at some point I'll open those up on a video or on a live or something like that. More stuff through this shelving unit. This is mostly a hodgepodge of all sorts of stuff. You know, I'm sticking plastic bags in there when I don't need them anymore. My printer is over there. And then over here I also have additional stuff piled up. This bag here is all stuff that I've gotten off the Pick-a-Brick wall, now put into Ziploc bags. I've got like the Marvel Gauntlet set, some more used sets, another Click-It set to add to the collection of Click-Its, I guess. There's more poly bags and minifigures and brickheads and just stuff that hasn't gotten put away. UCS TIE Fighter, that's sealed. Below it, I believe, is the UCS AT-AT. Both of these, I believe, are AT-ATs. One in that bag and one without. I've got piles of pieces up top. These are pieces that are probably cleanable. And these are pieces that I think are too bad to sell. And clearly, I don't think anybody would argue with me in some of these cases that they are too bad to sell. But then, you know, some of these are just maybe just a little more scratched on the side than I want to sell. So I've just put them in here. And that is the next stage for bonus content. I think we'll do a little bit more as well. Okay, so this area here is that entry area, but if we come around over here, this is what I refer to as my game room. I have a pile of the Brick Loot boxes yet to be opened. I get one of those a month. I'm up to like 15 of them, haven't opened any of them yet. Planned on doing a video, haven't done it yet. But over here, I've got this shelving unit is got all these Lego containers, plus there's like a couple of the radios and different things like that. Most of these containers don't have anything in them, or if they do, it's just minor things. I've got other things piled up in front. This baker's rack, I'm pretty sure there's an old video on this baker's rack, or I bought this from somebody through Craigslist, I believe. They had basically painted it for their son for his Lego. The paint is pretty well chipping away and that sort of thing, but it's kind of a neat thing. I got another shelf back here with more storage types of things on it and different things down below. Over here, this is a lot of the larger purchases I've made more recently. Like you can see in here, These sets were sets that I got from Mexico, still sealed in box. I've got other containers over here of all sorts of different things. I mean, I can't even remember everything that's in here at this point. A lot of these totes over here have Duplo in them. There's some additional Duplo over here piled up, and that'll get sorted and gone through. And you can even see there's a car or truck back there in behind. Over there on that shelf thing that's on top of that shelf thing that's on top of that shelf thing, those are pick-a-brick cups, but those are advent calendars. Well, basically, after I built them, I put the pieces in there. Further over, you can see there's some more Winter Village sets on the shelves here and then down below. And then there's a built one way down at the bottom in that red tote. I got a lot of these Room Copenhagen storage cubes, the 2x4, 2x2, 1x2, and 1x1. Got some of those. Just all sorts of stuff in through here. And then a lot of the rest of this, there is some Lego through here. I've got a couple of totes of instructions and that sort of thing. They get pretty heavy. A number of the reference books through here. Here I've got some of the smaller storage heads in the skeleton design. And yeah, and I think we'll probably do some additional bonus content. Hello, I'm back to the stairs again. On this side over here, we've got some boxes piled up. I use those to block vision into the living room when I was doing a live stream. They were slid down further at that point. These have been opened and looked at, but it's bulk Lego that hasn't been pulled out or anything like that. Over here, you can see there's the 565 moon landing set that was supposed to be complete in box, but while it had the box instructions, it wasn't complete. I have completed it because I had a second copy of it, but some more of the Room Copenhagen storage that I found at Marshall's, fairly cheap. Further down this way, you'll see I've just got more totes and boxes of stuff. Now, like, this is just recycling, but a lot of the rest of this stuff needs to be sorted and gone through. I've got a pile of sets here as well. This is the Dagobah Jedi Training, which I may be taking to the Lego store to see if they can do anything about that box for me. And then along the back on these shelves, I've got like all the stockings up there. There's an empty box over there. That odd shaped cup right there is a pick-a-brick cup, but it's from a store that doesn't exist anymore. It wasn't an actual Lego store. It was a independent used Lego store, and they also sold new sets and that sort of thing. Up top, you can see the Batman bust that I ended up building on a live stream. Over on this side of the TV, you can see that I've got more of the heads, a lot of Halloween stuff, but then there's one normal one up there. And we are getting close to being done, but we're going to look at least one more place. All right, and we're now in the office, or what I'm calling the office. And you may have seen this before in some videos where I would open stuff up in here. Over here, we've just got this shelving unit has just packing material on it, bubble wrap and peanuts and different things like that. But the real story in here is this pile in the middle of the room. These are drawer units that I've had that are still taped shut from a move in 2017. But stepping back here, there's a curtain that was on the window. I believe all of these sets in the cardboard over here are all Darth Vader castles. But then, like, there's some old Star Destroyer box. There's all sorts of other boxes and storage and different things down through here. It's just full of stuff at all sorts of different points. These boxes over here, these 5 boxes on the floor, that's the stuff that I was displaying at Brick Universe. And then coming over this way, like these totes here and the boxes below them, that was a purchase I made probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point. There's some more storage drawers here of different types, of more purchases I've made more recently. This large tote is non-Lego and building and non-Lego non-building. So, I mean, there's just action figure stuff in here, just all sorts of whatever. But again, you'll see more back here that there's shoe boxes and drawer units of stuff. Same thing through here. Just this large pile of stuff all through there. And so, yeah, and then over here we've got some of these boxes here, these Santa Clauses and other plushes that I've gotten from Target, all kind of piled up in a pile. We're getting close to the end, but I think we're going to go to the garage next. I was on my way to the garage and I realized this little hallway between the living room and the office is actually something to talk about. Up top is where I've stored a bunch of UCS Star Wars boxes that are empty. Some of those boxes have smaller boxes inside them to make better space, but that was a purchase I made and then disassembled the built sets, so I have those. And then the closets also bear note. This closet in here has a bunch of these units here that I used to sort Lego into. They're labeled already. Some have been partially used. Somebody was working on that, and then we just basically bagged the stuff up. Because generally, I'm paying people by weight when I'm paying them to help, and so basically it's in midstream until they can come back and work on some more. And then I've got, another storage unit up here, and there's some loose Lego in these totes and that sort of thing. And there's actually a sub-electrical box. JB should be amused by that. And so that's this closet. And then there's, of course, another closet over here. And over here, I've just got boxes of bulk stacked up amongst some other things. I've got some posters and stuff in here. And then these two units were like glass doored displays that I bought. And one of them has a cracked piece of glass that it's probably a cheap piece of glass, but I might look into seeing if I can get that replaced. Now we were going to be on to the garage after that little detour. All right, I am in the garage now. I'm up a couple of steps because there's a couple of steps into the house. And we'll start off here. I've got more boxes of bulk that's been bought and not even brought into the house. Whole pile of these plastic storage tubs are going to be really useful. And then underneath, you'll see these large boxes. And then over here, no, I guess not over here, but those are Acromills drawer units from Amazon. And then these were part of a purchase I made. I bought a whole bunch of stuff and got those drawer units. More boxes that need to be opened. More boxes that need to be opened here. Over here, I also have more boxes that need to be opened on this, all around the corner. A lot of stuff. I think actually those top two boxes are empty or have packing material in them. Over here, this is very recent. This is all the bulk Lego that I've been, that I've gotten in recently. There's totes and boxes through this central area here. And then way back there, well, those gray totes, I believe, are full of loose Lego. But beyond those totes, there is a skid. You can see a little bit of the greenish on the wrap of it. And that's a skid that I bought that's all loose Lego that I've never even opened the skid. As far as the rest of this stuff through here, I don't believe there's any Lego in here. I think most of it made it to the office when I was moving all this stuff in. And there may be some. But generally speaking, this is not Lego in here. This is other things of mine. And I think that is pretty much it. You have seen almost everything I have that's Lego related here. The only thing I didn't do is we didn't go into the bedroom, the master bedroom. There's not a lot in there, and what is in there is not really highly visible. It's mostly in boxes and that sort of thing. But yeah, we are going to cut the video off at this point. I have a whole bunch of splicing of different parts together to do, and the upload is probably going to take like an hour. But we did it. We finally have the tours of all the rooms, and I just want to thank you personally very much for joining me on this little tour. Take care.